we have to like sing our edge. Paul's not happy with that. Hello and welcome to the Mackem Football Show. I'm on for the Mackem. It's a tight roster tonight. It's going to be a little bit more calm and collected. Let's put it that way, shall we? We have the lovely Paul Wilson on camera and in the middle here. So, hello. Welcome along, buddy. And if the Sunderland logo, what's your name, buddy? AKA Jacob. Welcome along, mate. Welcome along. Evening. I didn't forget your name, by the way. I was just having a bit of banter. So we'll start off the podcast. You ruined the question. What are you drinking? You've just gone in with it straight away. Copperberg. Which flavour? Oh. Hello. Apple and blueberry. Oh. So do we have the entire Westray clan? let me make this a little bit bigger then. Where are we at then, boys? What you drinking? What you drinking? Yeah. We've literally just started. What you drinking? Who's running away? Was that the bouncer that you had a fight with years ago? It is. Oh, moo. Ben's alive. Jane. Good lads. No, that's where it is. Yeah. I mean, there's literally me in the chat, so I'll pop it in there, no problem. Who? I think my colour figures might be a little bit racist because. No, my effect makes the invisible. Anything that's very, very dark goes invisible. Have a good night. No worries, mate. Catch you in a bit. Cheers. Happy birthday. See ya. See you in a bit. Oh, that was bad. I thought we were going to have a carbon composed one today, but never mind. No, I haven't got the counter up today. Oh, class. Paul, the last one to go. I even had the entire Sunderland clan in there. So, go on. What are you drinking? Just lemon. Wait, what? You're not doing a cabbie, are you? What? Are you lemonade? You mean? What? All right, okay. I thought you were like drinking literally like a lemon fruit. That's just bizarre. Cool, mate, cool. Lauren Kenny, welcome in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Paul, for the reminder. Legend, thank you. Yes, and Dean's here as well. So, welcome along. I do have a couple of things we can talk about today because we're on 3 losses in a row. We've changed a couple of things up. We've got rid of Beale, obviously. We talked about that extensively last week. But I'm going to ask you your mood after I explain why I'm not upset. Because I'm actually okay with what I'm seeing from the club, from Doddsy, and from the players. I know it's crap that we're losing games, but I'm optimistic. I've got hope that the future is better now, whereas I didn't have that before. And also, I need to turn on my lights. There you go. So, what's your thoughts and feelings about where the club is at? Because I think generally across the board, everybody's just a little bit done. They're writing the season off, and they're just going, just get the summer transfer window out of the way with, and we can go from there. What about you boys? Keisha, hi. Which is our new aim. Yeah. 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 Yeah, so yeah, I know exactly what you mean, mate, but the problem is with that, you're never guaranteed to stay in the Premier League regardless of when you go up. You could go up and be a two-season club. You could go up, have a fantastic first season, and then next season you crumble. There's been, yeah, you've got countless of examples of that in the past. Or a West Ham. West Ham's been in the Premier League. Sorry, there you go.
But I think when we get to Prem, I think we'll be all right. I can see us maybe being a Brighton or a Brentford, you know.
Oh my god. So, do you know what's funnier? That entire bit with the lads at the Rook Hotel was just for visuals only. The audio, Acacia's kindly pointed out, that wasn't working.
Oh my god.
Oh, do I need to restart the entire podcast from here? That's mad.
Nah, just leave it. Be something good to laugh about and look back on this season and go, that podcast.
You just see me reacting to silence then. It feels like what like you've got a camera on a Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yeah. Explain it in the description, just explain it in the description. Say,
it's alright, I'll trim it forward.
Yeah.
Anyways, right. So go over your thought again around where you're feeling with the club though, because everything you said prior to me calling that out was missed. How are you feeling about Sunderland at the minute?
Shame we've lost 3 on the bounce.
Mm.
You know, against teams I think we should be beating per se. But I don't think we'll lose every game now. I don't think, and finishing 18th, like some fans are saying, I don't think will happen. I still think we'll be in the top half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think I'm still remaining optimistic. I'll agree the playoffs is off, but I think it'd be nice to still get some 3 points in just to consolidate in the top half of the championship and get ready for next season and wait for our new coach, manager, whatever. You know.
On that, I've got a question to build on that and remind me about head coach question. But I want to get Paul's thoughts first before I go into the next question, if that's all right. Paul, how are you feeling about the club in this current climate? 3 losses in a row, new gaffer, 12 games to go. What are you thinking?
To be honest with you, I'm okay with it, and I know I knew we would have lost against Birmingham anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with with them, with Tony Mowbray being there, which I'm actually pleased he's actually on the mend now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the. I saw an article about that.
I don't know what his illness was, and it's not really our business to know. But either way, speedy recovery, whatever it is. If he's on the mend, it's been treated and it's got the correct thing. So yeah,
I'm not sure what it was, but Todd said he told him after the game so Mike Dodds actually knows what it is. But I'm glad Mowbray is actually on the mend.
Mhm.
I know. Well, after the game against Swansea, Dodds came out.
Yeah.
And said that that was the one thing, for the formation he did.
Want to try?
Fair enough. He does want to try new stuff out. But he said, like, for the game this weekend, he's actually going to change.
He said he was going to try to win every game, and I think with the way Dodds work, if you look at every single game he's managed for us, he's tried something different every single time, which I think is perfect for this team, because when we get stuck in a rut, we get found out very quickly, and we're overly reliant on certain key players. So I'm unhappy for us to. It was more like I wouldn't say Mourinho, but it was like that very 2000 mid 2000 Chelsea side where you didn't know which formation they were going to put in week in week out, and they just ran around teams because they couldn't really set themselves up properly for that. I think that's what we'll get with Dodds. It might not be great football based on our current squad, but it does have fruit at the end of it. I can see a positive light, and I never saw that with Bale. And towards the end of Mowbray as well, I was starting to we need to change it up, otherwise we're going to lose lots more games. And lo and behold, we did. So, I hope Zillan's having a bit of a laugh there. Saying just got word Bale's been reappointed. Yeah, for me,
that won't happen.
Nah, I think Zillan's just having a bit of a banter there.
He's had a few drinks.
The thing with me, and I think the thing with our fan base, and I'm not going to speak for everybody in this club, we're not going to accept losses as they are, and we do catastrophize quite quickly with some defeats. But you can see how he set up in that last game against Swansea. It could work if the players understood what they were doing. The clear direction was set up the entire week in training beforehand, not thrown together the day of. That's where I think the difference is. I think he's learnt that and he's put it in place for this next game against Norwich. So I've got hope that at least this head coach is actually doing his job, which like I said, I didn't have under Bale. That's my question. It's on that head coach manager thing. He said for next season who we're going to be looking at. But how many games does Dodds have to win to be offered the full-time position out of these remaining 12? Let's say if we want the cheapest option, and I'm going to use air quotes for that. We want the cheapest option. Dodds keeping his job, is that right? How many games in a row, how many games out of these remaining ones does he have to win to be offered the job before it gets offered to somebody else in the summer window?
Say at least 8.
8 of the 12. Okay.
Or maybe 9, or pushing it a bit, 9, 10.
I've got a different answer, and it's not an actual number, so it's convoluted. Paul?
To be honest with you, I've got no idea, because I don't think the club will give him it permanent.
I think they will. And the reason I think they will is if he makes however many points it takes to get into the playoffs, he'll be offered the job. If we make the playoffs now, from where we're at, he'll be offered the job.
Playoffs are off, I think.
No, but I think, like you said, 8 wins. 8 wins makes us the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. But that's what I think the condition is for him to have a full time.
I still think we'll be in the top half, though. At least top 10. I can't see us going 18 for what some fans are saying per se.
Yeah, right.
See, for me, I think the reason why I said they won't give him a full time was, they'll probably see how he gets on. Fair enough. But what they'll probably say to him is take it until the summer. Then fair enough. While he's taking that, Carrillo, Dreyfus, and Christian Speakman, and whoever's looking for the new head coach, that they can look in the summer, because more than likely potential other candidates that they were speaking to before Bale Probably wasn't available then, but they might come available, say, in the summer.
Yeah,
Steve Cooper.
Yeah, Steve Cooper will still. To be fair, I think even Schumacher might be coming available again at that point, depending on how.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I saw that earlier.
I don't think the club would employ him.
I think they would.
I don't think
they would, because he's clearly at a level where he can be affordable for us, and that's what the ultimate thing is with Sunderland right now. We're not going to do anything that is outside of our current guaranteed income.
Steve Cooper will be a good one, wouldn't it? I think he'd do well for us.
There'd be loads of good managers for us, mate. There'd be
This was Steve Cooper. Was he head coach? Was he head coach at Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, he got Nottingham into the Prem. Beat Huddersfield at Wembley.
He's done it via the playoffs as well. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, that one, either way. I will catch up on a couple of chats from Acacia, Dean, Lauren, and Zillan. So I will get to all of your messages. I haven't not read any of them. I'm just trying to feed them into the conversation naturally. Lauren's one that calls out to me the most about the whole Dodds manager, that kind of thing. She says, the fact that Dodds took a responsibility speaks volumes. I was watching the what do you call it? The conferences, the post-match conference.
Yeah, I watched it today. A few hours ago.
Yeah. So in that, I saw people in the live chat, and they just go, right, that's me going, I'm going by. This man can half drivel, and I'm like, at least he actually speaks his mind. He doesn't call fans stupid names. He doesn't. It isn't about him. It's about how he's doing his job, and that's what you want from a head coach. Might not be what you need from a manager, but our manager, if you look at it the way we're currently structured, is Speakman. He signs the players. He gets he does. That's who the scouts report to. So that's why you look at your manager. So, do you think that Dodds having that that conversation with the fans essentially is a much better sign, or is that why you're a little bit happier now?
To be honest, in a way, I was actually happy when the club actually gave it to him in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just because of what you're saying about the fans, but the games he actually took before.
The Leeds and the West Brom one, mainly.
Yeah, West Brom and Leeds.
That's why I'm pleased. I knew the club would give it to him anyway. But because I said to Bowers what they should have done before they got Beale. Fair enough. The club thought Beale was the right candidate at the time. But I said to Bowers, what I would have done is what the club is doing now.
Right.
I would have actually given it to Dodds then, full time.
Good point. I mean,
yeah, but we'd have probably got Beale in the summer, wouldn't we? We'd have probably got him then. So.
No.
Yeah, I do agree with Paul.
I kind of feel that everybody felt stuck with Beale. Even Beale felt stuck with him as the choice there. It just felt like a chancer. I think what it did really was and this is how I'm naturally posting this in, what Dean said, this season is what last season should have been. Because of that appointment, it should have been the drama, the bit of disappointment. Look, we've just come up, we're in 10th. If we swap these 2 seasons around, we'd be absolutely buzzing right now, and there'd be no debate about where the trajectory of the club is. It's because we had such a good season last season, and this one is more where we realistically expected that one to be. So,
but then our next few seasons, I think, because I think we'll be in the Championship. I think 4 or 5 seasons, so another 2 or 3 seasons. I think the next seasons in the Championship will be better.
The thing is,
this one might be just a one-off.
Sorry, I'm going to play devil's advocate and disagree with that, mate. I think this league is one good transfer window away from going up or down, good or bad. Sorry. So if you have an absolute shit transfer window, you can see your team falling down the league. Guess what we had in January?
Shit.
Where do we start going? It's all dependent on how well we recruit and sell our players. That's how you can tell the trajectory of the club. If we're getting rid of Stewart, granted, 10 million, amazing value for him. He's played 17 minutes this entire season, so it's great money for us. But it showed that we got rid of a striker who can bang in goals for fun and didn't replace him with somebody who is, I hate using this word, a proven striker, because it doesn't matter. A striker scores goals. You can prove yourself by doing that. None of the lads we've done in that have been consistent enough to be classed as our out-and-out number 10, number 11, whichever position you want to put them in. So that's where our season, I think, has faltered, mainly in the recruitment. But the recruitment is not down to Beale, it's not down to Mowbray, and it's not down to Dodds. They're just given the best players that they could possibly do. They're formatted with putting out the best team against the best opponents, which is, I think, what Dodds does more than Beale. if you catch my drift, that's why I'm a little bit happier, because Dodds does his job, but we're stuck with what we've got. Any comments? I went all the way around the house there, didn't I, to answer your question?
So you think do you think generally our season next season? Do you think will be all right, or do you think we might actually go down? Or
it depends. Like I said, this league is completely dependent on the recruitment in that previous window. If we recruit well, we could go into the automatics. Because you look at the teams that are coming down, or the two teams that are pretty much ironed on to come down, Burnley and Sheffield. So those two absolutely stormed the league last season. Are they going to get rid of all of their players now that they've signed loads to try and stay in the Premier League and failed? They've got to get rid of wages, because if you go up and go down, by the way, you only get 2 years of parachute payments, not 3. If you're a stable club, if you've spent 2 or more years in the Premier League, you get 3 years of parachute payments. They've done a flash in the pan, 1 and up and down. And it's to stop that yo-yoing. So yeah. The question is, I don't know the answer to the question. It's it depends on what Speakman and KLD is doing. Dale, thank you for popping in there and saying this. KLD is totally clueless. The plan will never work. You keep selling your players, no ambition, and he's just a big child. You think that's more of it? We're a bit of an experiment, a bit of a toy for him to mess around with? I want to ask that to Paul.
Oh my god! I wish I had the answer.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on it? You don't have to have the answer though.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know really.
Okay, I'll phrase it. I'll try and tangent it or move it into a different direction. We are very, very conscious and aware as a fan base that we are needing strikers, right? Yeah. Who is the magic pill, the magic striker that we need to deliver for us next season? Because we can't bring him in today, can we? We have to wait till next season. Who is it?
Maybe get Whittaker from Plymouth. Maybe sign Whittaker, or do you know what? Bring Josh Maja back.
So you're
Josh Maja's in.
With those players that you just mentioned, Jacob, you're looking at the bottom half of the championship to do that.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone's. Look at the top half. I don't think anyone's going to come to Sunderland, are they?
Why not?
And it's location wise. Well, it's location wise as well.
Mbappe says Piercer. I'll add the caveat. Realistic. Messi, Pele.
Do you not reckon the club will go in for? Well, I know he's a but Ipswich now, but say Ipswich go up. Do you not think the club will go back in for Kiefer Murray?
No.
Nah, because he'll want to play in the Prem, won't he?
Well, there's that. Plus, he's loanee. He's not a purchase for Ipswich. So,
would you take Whittaker from Plymouth? What's his first name? Is it Josh Whittaker?
I think so.
Yeah, and about Morgan Whittaker.
Morgan, that's it. Morgan.
Strike. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, would you take him?
Lawrence got the right answer. Lawrence got the right answer.
I would take him, Logan, actually.
A realistic striker that I think Sunderland could afford and would do the job from day one. Smodic. Oh wow, she knows her stuff.
I know you quite like him, to be fair. I
He's
know you've
so good.
mentioned him quite.
He's so good.
Oh man, all right. What about Whittaker and Schmodic? Them two. Would you tip? Like, if we got both of them, how would you?
What the partnership up front? What's one of them like?
Yeah.
I like the way you said that.
When was the last time Sunderland played with a striking partnership that worked?
So
You know what?
no, now putting first probably.
No. There's some after that.
Try that tomorrow.
It was Stuart and Kyle, I think.
What,
2000.
Kyle?
Stuart and Kyle were an effective striking partnership in 2004. 20 years ago. Paul's brain is just blown up now. Are you all right?
For me,
They were effective. They were effective in the championship, mate. They
the
were.
year I was born, I'm fucking hell.
For me, it was been Stewart and Sims. When Neil used to play them all balls together.
I forgot they played as a partnership, you know.
I won't mind having Sims back, but he's probably not going to come, is he? I think he's enjoying it at Coventry.
But you never know. So, I know Sims is there permanent, but you never know.
Would you take Maja back? Would you, if Sunderland actually got Maja, how would you feel?
I will always say this about people coming back
Never
to the club.
back.
Yeah, that's it. People going back to clubs, unless they're loanees, if they were a full-time employee with that club and they've left for a bigger club or they weren't the right fit, they weren't on the right path with the club, it never works out going back. It's just like going back to an ex. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you might have had good... what's it called? It's like rose-tinted glasses for the past. It's like you've got good memories with them, but you gotta remember they left for a reason.
A good few times in bed with them, but you know, it might not feel the same.
Oh, so Mackem, welcome along. Asks, who do we buy and who do we sell? I don't think. Sorry, who do we buy and who do we sell? I don't. Something to Speakman, nothing to do with KLD. There's so much shit in them, to be honest. So, if we get 25 million, 20 million for Jack Clark, there's a huge budget instantly available for whoever we want. Pierce said Diallo, which is a realistic option for that value. Smodic could buy him 10 times over for that value. Who do we get if we do? Because I think everybody's pretty much aware Clark's going in the summer.
Yeah, he will.
So who are we getting for that value? Because the worst thing I could see for us doing is just selling Clark and getting nobody to replace him. We need two strikers, I think, if that's how we want to go. There you go. Pierce has just directly said Clark for Diallo, straight swap with the cash. Is that like swapping an Xbox for a PlayStation? It's the same thing, really, and it's console. It's one thing for the other, one winger for the other. But then we've still got the gaps in the squad. So if we're going to, sorry, I'm talking quite a lot because I'm waiting for you guys to jump in. If we're going to use the model of developing a player, like buying them cheap, getting them to a good, high, realistic market value for their skill level, and then selling them on, which is what we've done exactly with Clark. And then what we're doing with that profit, if we're not doing it to buy another 5 players.
I think use that money for Clark to get Diallo on loan again.
Diallo on loan, though, he's not ours. We can't make profit on loans. That's the problem. We need to purchase players.
Well, the first thing is if the club really wanted him in January, because Christian Speak was on the phone to Man United, I think, nearly all deadline day.
Mm-hmm.
So if the club really wanted him, they've got to go in and purchase him.
What you think we could? You think with Clark's money we could buy Diallo with that amount of money?
Well, you never know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Diallo's name actually does keep mentioning on deadline day. So
yeah,
still got the connection with Man United there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and Man United, I'm sorry, the atmosphere there's fucking library. So, Old Trafford is just a library, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
It's dead.
I think that's because of how they've got corporate model versus local fans. It does make sense, but that's not what we're talking about here, mate. Jim's counteracted your argument though, Jacob, about Josh Magic coming back. 1 goal in 9 games. Rushin has better stats. Rushin does. So that I think that pretty much puts the nail on the Magic head. Sunderland come back to Sunderland. And I mean, it would be nice if we developed him as a youth. He's went to the Premier League. He's got high tier experience, but
Because in the first half of that League One season, he was banging in goals in fun, and then he did what he did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he let his agent whisper in his ear.
Well, that's what Clark's doing now. This is conspiracy corner. I'll come up with a little button I can press that does conspiracy corner with little alarm bells and that. I think Clark is doing a Pritchard.
Or a Masher.
He's been whispered in his ear by his. Oh, look at his face. He's not happy with that comment. I think Clark is basically protecting his market value. That's what I think he's doing now. He's twisted his ankle and he's out for 6 weeks. I mean, come on.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it is, Ant.
He's twisted his ankle and he's out for 6 weeks. Come on, mate.
I don't. I know what you're on about, but I don't think it's that.
If he wants to be sold, he wants to protect his market value, and if he's in 12 games and they perform shit in 8 of them, his market value drops. He gets his chance to go to, let's say, I don't know, Brighton, West Ham, gone, and he's stuck with Brentford. You know what I mean? Like I think he's protecting his value a little bit with what he's doing.
I don't think it's that low because he's actually played every game. Fair enough, played
That's the point.
Rests as well, but he's played every game, and like Dodd said, he actually did play the full game against Birmingham. The club actually thought he was going to come off at half time, but he actually played through it, and of course the club sent him to a specialist this week, and unfortunately he's out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but if I go to my doctor and go, I'm struggling a bit, can you give me a sick note? They'll say yes. So, like, do you know what I mean? It's really easy to get a doctor to agree with something that you want, especially around that.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but because in a way I do feel sorry for Dodds because I think Dodds was going to put him into the squad.
Yeah, no, I think it would be any manager or any head coach would be daft not to put him straight into the squad. I think it's purely his agent and him talking in the background, going, "If you want a Premier League move, you're going to score more goals in these games, but you're going to potentially risk injury in them. They're going to push on you. All these players are going to harass you. Protect yourself." Because he's rolled his ankle and he's gone, "I'm injured." You can protect a twisted ankle a lot easier than a broken leg. He's going to get hacked the entire rest of the season. Like I said, it's a conspiracy. It's probably not true, but do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. So, might as well say. Clark is out for the next 6 weeks, which is the next 8 games, Derek.
Yeah, Dodd said he's out till April.
Yeah. It's too long. So we'll re-ask the question because I think it's a really, really pertinent one. Are we done for the season? What's our now best option, realistic option, worst case scenario?
Right, for the rest of the season, like realistically. Maybe try and get as many points as we can. And, just try and still remain in the top half because I think the playoffs is off. But, I think Bauer said something similar to that in the Swansea match reaction, like playoffs is off, but still try and get as many 3 points as we can and just try and remain in the top 10.
Okay.
That's mine.
Okay.
My aim, really.
Yeah, Paul?
Yeah, it's the same here, really. Yeah, try and finish as high as we can in the league. Yeah, fair enough. That's what the club might be telling. Yeah, they'll be probably telling Mike Dodds that. But yeah, see where. Yeah, try and finish high as we can.
Yeah. For me,
The games we've got coming up.
Yeah, the games that we've got coming up are not going to be easy to get points in. Let's be realistic. I think for me, this is going to sound really soft, and I know it is, but my aim for this club now is to restore a little bit of respect and hope back into the rest of the fan base. It could be done by just some of our players that have been a little bit off the mark over the last couple of weeks coming back to full form. Could be us banging in 4 or 5 goals in a game, just being a bit more ruthless, a bit more strong, and a bit more. I think it's simple as just keeping switched on for the entire 90. More fighting attitude from the lads when they're on the pitch, rather than dropping their heads as soon as they go a goal down and forgetting, oh shit, that was my job. There's lots of finger pointing. There's a lot of slowness in the squad, but it's still like you can see the players have still got talent. They just need the right coaching and direction. So restore that respect and stop getting bullied.
It's fun, though, because I was listening to Total Sport earlier, and Nick Bonds was on about these next 3 games that we've got coming up, say Norwich, Leicester, and Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually done well against them. Like Norwich, we won up here. Fair enough, we got beat at Leicester. We won Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you think these next 3 games will come into our season? Do you actually think we'll get positive results from these 3?
I think we might draw all 3, or at least lose one of them. Probably lose to Leicester, maybe draw Southampton, Norwich.
I think it's a little bit too far ahead for my head to comprehend with this current squad. Because if you look at us 3 games ago, we're still under Bale complaining about how we're basically killing the season and there's no hope at the club anymore. So 3 games is a long time at this club, which is really bizarre. We should be thinking about the entire rest of the season, not next game, then reevaluate, then the next game. Should be a little bit more clear for us, but it's not. So I'd say Norwich will be the start of the determiner for that, and I think we might actually have a good time tomorrow. We might not win it. I think we'll have some players that will shine and some players that will prove that they're not worthy of being the first team selection. But we don't know. We don't even know who the starting lineup or what the formation's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm saying but I've got a feeling Dodds will probably put, I don't know, but like say against Leicester, I wouldn't be surprised if we played like we did, I don't know, but like say against Leeds, for example.
Or Leicester. We actually played pretty good against Leicester, even though we lost 1-0. We still played really good in that game.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but with Dodds in charge, I wouldn't be surprised if we played against like we did against West Brom or against Leeds, but with Leicester on Tuesday.
Yeah. So I'll let you think about how you would answer your own question there. And while you do that, I'll quickly point out, Pierce has said around the question that we asked a couple of minutes ago, we'll get 6th or 5th maximum. That's keep my head up right now because there's no chance we'll be middle of the table. We're a miracle club sometimes. So to be fair, to that point, we did look completely out of contention and we were saying the same things roughly this time last season. Lost 3 on the bounce, we're struggling, can't see where the next win's coming from, and then we just go on an unbeaten streak. So that's the nature of Sunderland. we can literally just flip it on its head and rock it. So gotta keep hope.
Never lose faith.
Exactly. So, Paul, are you answering your own question? How are you seeing the next 3 games going?
Well, with Mike Dodds in charge, it will be interesting actually how we do get on against these next 3. because I can probably see us getting something down at Norwich.
Mhm.
Fair enough, they've got Josh Sargent tomorrow, but I can probably see us getting something
Yeah.
Now that's
against
another
Norwich.
player we could go for.
Who's that?
Sargent.
Oh,
Could
Josh
have gone for him in
Sargent.
our first season, but we could go for him in summer.
Isn't he
this
like?
summer.
Isn't he a little bit too expensive for what he's delivered at Norwich? I know he used to be. I know he used to be a Premier League player, and he thrived with Pookie at his side. But since Pookie's gone, he's had maybe like
I don't know where he's
7
gone,
brilliant
Pookie.
games.
Where's he gone, Pookie?
Don't know. He went last season.
Maybe we could go for Pookie and get him.
No, he's my age, and he's like 30. Sorry, 34. No.
And I think probably Leicester. I think we'll get something. Jamie Vardy's actually injured.
Yeah, he's like
I don't
37,
really
and
play,
he?
though,
He's older. I know he's well. He's approaching Ryan Giggs' age now, isn't he? Or he retired.
I think he has
Yeah,
Zimmer for him now on the touchline.
I think I heard it. They're missing a midfielder as well.
Yeah, but
Leicester is.
I think there's a lot of football to be played between our next 2 games. We've got to look at where the rest of the league are doing, what actually each game means. If we look at today, you got Coventry and West Brom playing Coventry, right? I think West Brom were 2-0 up at half time before we started this stream. What does that do for our chances? Like, why are we so dependent on what other teams are doing rather than what we should be
Focus
focusing
on
on?
ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we shouldn't be relying on other teams to keep doing us favors. We should be just going out there and beating the shit out of the other team. It's as simple as that.
It's
Yeah.
Sunderland Lowlands.
Yeah, it is Sunderland. Like we've got a little bit of a gap to bridge, and I think that's where my point around transfers, who do you bring in, comes into it again. I think everybody's very aware that Jack Clark is going to leave, 25 million, all of that. But who else do you think's leaving in the summer window? Why is that important? Like who?
Cost.
Go on.
Yeah, Clark definitely. I think Paul did say, didn't he, earlier, Ballard maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's rumours of Ballard going to Everton.
Norwich.
Actually, has been linked.
I was linked with Norwich to link back up with Danny Bart.
That's one player we've got to watch for tomorrow. Watch him come on.
Do you think Ekwar could leave, or do you think Ekwar's staying?
Oh, Ekwar's staying. I've got no doubt he's sticking with us for a couple of years. I think him and Luke O'Nien are going to be around
the
us.
area, doesn't he? He does like the area, to be fair, does Ekwar.
He's just a positive dude.
Same with O'Nien. O'Nien's staying. We don't have to worry about him leaving. I don't think Dan Neil will leave.
I think I've got to feel Neil go. Dan Neil in the summer.
What about Patterson? Because Dean's just pointed out Patterson as well.
Oh, that is an interesting one. The thing is
Bishop or Bass any better? You really decided if Pat O'Gore
didn't bring in a experienced backup keeper for Patterson. Actually,
that's what Bishop was supposed to be. That's what Alex Bass was supposed to be. Like, come on.
No, I can't see Patterson leaving. No,
I can.
No,
I can. But I think we have to be. I don't think it's this season. I think it's more on the season where we finish in the playoffs and fail the playoffs. That's when he would leave. If he's on the he's performed. Let's see if he's at Coventry right now. He would be up for contention. They fail the playoffs. He would get sold. It's just because he's from the area. We really like him as a local lad, and yeah, I think he's obviously got some problems with his game. Which game was it where he was like out the box twice in a row?
Plymouth.
The Plymouth game.
Plymouth won it 3-1.
That first half, we should have been 2 down.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah. So Acacia said Danny Bart won't be playing tomorrow, and we're getting in the squad recently. He's not been getting in the squad recently at all. He's on the bench for them some of the times.
I would love to know why we actually sold him.
Well, by the sounds of it, his legs are starting to go. If that's it.
He was actually he was actually our player of the season last year. So why did the club decide to get rid of him?
Yeah. So I've got another kind of long-winded question because it challenges the model a little bit. So if you look at certain numbers in this league, and stat people do that a lot, by the way. If you look at certain numbers, you go cost versus points. You will notice quite a lot. Ipswich is a little bit of a freak, but it's also not because it's kind of joining them now with Kiefer Moore. The amount of spend you have on your average wages versus how many points you have is a pretty much direct correlation to where you are in this league. We're kind of a freak in that because we're 19th on that spend chart, but we're 10th in the league table. Everybody at the top is where they should be. Spending money, and they're putting money into the club. So, is it a case of simply throw money at the problem and will we fix it ourselves? Because that goes against what we're doing. Go on.
I'll let Paul go first.
Look, I actually wish I had KLD's number to find out what we're doing.
Ed, give us a plan.
Bring him on here. Him and Speakman and Stuart Harvey. Let's ask him.
He can sit there for a second,
tough
can
questions and.
What's your plan for the club?
How
long have we stayed in this league for?
Oh my god. We'd be here forever if it was up to him, wouldn't it?
When are we bringing the striker in?
The thing is, right, and with this owner, do you think he'll actually spend anything on us? Because I don't think he's done that yet, right? Other than to take ownership of it. What's he actually invested in this club?
Silly thing is, do you not think he's actually waiting for the money?
I think he's waiting for the youth model to come to fruition and just get the Premier League money, or to sell Song. So it's. Do we need to spend money to be successful? That's the main question here. We've asked the other questions around KLDs and tents before. Do we need to be successful?
Yes.
You're thinking yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like I just said, Lord, do you not think he's actually waiting for the money off his dad?
Well, he's waiting for his dad to clop it.
No, I'm saying no, but
what?
I think I heard somewhere that I think when he gets to a certain age, he actually gets that money.
Yeah, sorry, Elliot's just made me laugh with that question. I wonder what Will Griggs up to. Apparently he was on fire, so maybe he's been put out. Yeah, I think, but Derek, I think I called this out on the last video as well. It says Pat was making a lot of mistakes recently and needs to command his box. So, I think you do need to spend money on the right people, but it more boils down to you can have somebody who is the right person and be dead cheap. Now, this example is a prime example of it, but he's become just stupidly expensive now because he's gone to the Saudi leagues and what have you. If you look at when Chelsea, and I'm using Chelsea as an example again in this podcast, I do not look at them that often, honestly, trust me. But when they got Konate, he was relatively cheap compared to the rest of the players in his position, and he was by far one of the best players in the world at that time for that position. So you could buy somebody cheap who's an absolute talent. That's my point. Got Jack Clark on the cheap. He's an absolute talent. I think Ekwaz, we got him relatively on the cheap. He is an absolute talent. Ballard's the same. So it does work, but we need to be more consistent with who we're doing it with. I think Mundell is a really good example of somebody we've bought relatively cheap for what he is, or for his position. And we'll probably sell him on for a lot more if he does do the direct replacement for Jack Clark. So we've got a lot of potential in our squad. It's getting that potential out. but we also need to spend money when there's clear and obvious gaps, and we haven't done that. That's the difference between a good club and a great club.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Dean's pointed out. Yeah, KLD's dad is already dead, isn't he? He died and left him that fund.
Yeah.
It's his mother it's his mother that's around. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I forgot that.
Yeah, I think his mum actually comes to the games as well. Actually.
Oh, that's interesting. Jim says KLD is spending money, but it's for the longer term. Plus FFP restrictions amount you only can splash out. Well, on that, Jim, sorry, I'm gonna agree and disagree, which is usually what I do. He is spending money, but he's spending pennies. And in terms of FFP, we are nowhere near breaching any rules. We're 19th in this league. There's 18 other teams that are spending a lot more money than us. We've got wiggle room. We've got a much bigger budget than most to climb up to where they could be. Yeah, I think maybe Ipswich, Leeds, and Leicester are spending well beyond what we can afford, but we could definitely match West Brom or Norwich, but we don't. Go on, boys, chip in.
I don't know. I think it's just this plan, like we said. I think it might. I think it's been 3 or so years now. I think we can give it another 2 years, and if it still don't feel like a lot of changes happen, then we can worry and protest. But it's long term, in it. So, and as well, we don't want to go up maybe this season or even next season. To be fair, maybe we'd rather go up when we're ready rather than sooner when we're not ready and do a Sheffield. So
Fair enough.
Not saying I don't want us to. I'd love it, but it's just football and it's a crazy sport. We'll go up when it's our time. It was It was like that for League One, wasn't it? And you look at Brentford and Leeds; they were in the Championship for a while, and I know Leeds got relegated, didn't they? But look at Brentford now; they're doing fairly decent. But
yeah, but I think that's a problem with just general performance management, and you compare yourself to other teams quite a lot because that's the easiest example to do. But if you look outside of the English system, who would you compare us to there? You can Mallorca. We played them at the start of the season. We drew with them 1-1. We should be on par with them, right? Where are they now?
Should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can throw an example and compare yourself against them, but it's reductive. You're not really going. You don't have the same players. You don't have the same manager. You don't have the same tactics. It's how you perform on the day that matters and that counts. So you can only beat the opposition that's in front of you, and at the minute we're up against opposition in the Championship, which is I think where we deserve to be. I want us to be in the Premier League, but we deserve to be where we're at right now.
Yeah, belong and deserve are two different things, aren't they? Like, belong wise, we belong in the Prem, but deserve at the minute Championship.
Yeah, that's my point. So sorry if that upsets people in the chat. But
true.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to put a little bit of a logical head on sometimes with this club, and the club has been allowed to just deteriorate at points to the point where it's embarrassing, and that's under previous owners. The spending or lack of control within the spending has been stupid. Will Greg has come up in this chat from Acacia. That was a stupid spend. Like, he was just a big name.
How much did we get for him?
I don't care because it's what, 6 seasons ago now.
19. So January 2019. That's when it
5 seasons ago.
Best person to check on that is Sunderland Till I Die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the money we got for Will Greg, I'll say it again. Money we got for Greg, we should have offered that to Maja.
But potentially, mate. But it's too long ago, and we've played way too many games.
I don't think Dreyfus would have done that with Maja, but I think Dreyfus would have done better with the Maja situation.
Yeah.
Than Donald,
Yeah.
Personally, and people might disagree, but
Okay. I mean, retrospect, we can talk about it till the cows come home, right? I think for
won't
us,
change up.
there's cautionary tales in our past. There's a frustration in our current. Can we make that frustration a pleasant one? As in keeping KLD, the non-spender owner, will him not spending as much eventually lead to success? So if it does, I'm happy. I'll ride out the journey, but it needs to be guaranteed that the success is there at the end.
He could do, because he might not want to go splash out crazy straight away, because I think that's what Ellis Short did, didn't he? And look like that.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to repeat itself. My dad's kept saying that to me. Look, he doesn't want to go crazy. Just over time, as we get higher and higher, he'll spend more.
There you go.
So, and Anthony studied sports at university. So
I study sports every day, man. I watch the telly. What does that mean?
He's got a degree, and none of us.
I've got a degree. I've got a degree in something different. I haven't got a degree in sports, but I watch sports enough to understand it at a human level. Yeah.
Graduated a university course in travel, but
yeah, like just saying you've got a degree in sports engineering, you got a sports physiotherapy, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's doing the job. What you can have is a piece of paper that says you can do it. You have to prove you can do it. It's a difference. You can have a degree. I have a degree in marketing. Can I do?
But we're in a better position than what we were 4 years or 5 years ago, so we've got to look at that.
Yeah, but we're also in a worse position than where we were 10 years ago. Like you said, you're comparing apples and oranges. If you look at a different time frame, we're worse off. If you look at a different time frame, we're better off. Like, you just got to judge the moment that you're in now and go forward from there. My main concern with KLD is he doesn't spend. But I'm also going to play devil's advocate and go, well, when we have spent, we've spent it stupidly. So I'm more than happy to have somebody who's tighter with the purse strings, as long as they have a clear plan and strategy in place to make it a better time ahead of us. Until he tells us that we are going to have a better time ahead of us and show us how we're going to do that with the less spend, I'll still challenge everything that happens at this club, because I want us to be successful. That's ultimately what I think everybody wants. So the current regime has its problems, but
we all want the same output.
Right. Let's move away from that subject a little bit, because I can get very, very passionate very, very quick and maybe a little bit too agitated. So we're playing Norwich against Norwich this weekend at Carrow Road. What's your predictions for the game ahead? I know there's been a couple in the chat as well, so I can pull those up if I do a little bit of calling and reactivate my mouse. But Jacob, go first, mate. What's your prediction?
1-1, and we get to keep the trophy, the friendship trophy.
You're gonna have the guy jumping up and down in the car doing that. That is a new trophy.
Yeah.
There you go. So we've had a couple of apologies. Obviously, the West Rays, the lads from Sunderland, all came on earlier on. They're out having a little bit of a celebratory drink for the West Rays' birthday. So they said they want to call out their predictions, and the vast majority agreed with you. 1-1. Can't see where points are coming from after 3 losses in a row. They'd be happy with
3 draws on the bounce, next, I think, and then after that, 3 wins on the bounce.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, so 1-1's agreed by everybody up in Sunderland from my friend group, essentially. And Paul?
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to go for victory. I actually reckon, well, Dodds apparently has said, Dodds said in a press conference yesterday that training has been excellent with the players this week. So listening to what he said, he will hopefully will get it correct tomorrow. So I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 victory.
2-1 win?
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting the goals for us then?
I'm gonna say Semedo, because Dodds has said that Semedo actually will be getting some game time.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Semedo will get one.
Is that his first? That'll be his first of the season. I think.
Yeah, it will be. I'm going to say Semedo, and the other one.
Jack Clark. He's not even playing.
No, Jack Clark won't. I'm going to go Joe Bellingham.
Okay, I'm on board with that. I think he needs to have a little bit more of a come off the bench impact style tomorrow, but he's more likely going to start, so I'm all right with that. You're not getting much backup from the chat though. Acacia's going for a Norwich 3, Sunderland 1. So you've heard of it first. Acacia is now a Canary. Derek is going for.
No, she's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I'm make her angry. She's a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
Oh, careful, Jacob.
Derek's going for a 2-0 Norwich. I couldn't find any other predictions in the chat. I know we've had some, but I couldn't find them. Quickly scrolling. Acacia said 2-1. Oh no, so that was the West Brom score. I'm going to go for a very, very stupid scoreline, but I can see a lot of goals in this game. I'm going to go 4-2. 4-2.
Sunderland.
Either way. But yeah, hopefully Sunderland, but realistically Norwich. I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of...
4-2, I'll send you some beers to your house.
I think there's going to be a metric ton of goals in this game because we're going to be a little bit more attacking minded under Dodds. We are not going to sit back and hold back, and then as soon as we get a goal, we'll get more. It's just about when that first goal comes in. So, if they score first, we're going to lose. But I think if our goal scorers, if we see we're scoring 2, I think it's probably going to be Rushan and Mundell. Rushan and Mundell, both completely out of the blue. Other Mackem, welcome along, says to the lads, Job to score 1-0. I like that. There's a little bit of optimism in the fan base again, which you didn't have under Beale, and that's why I'm going to reiterate. Gerrin Doddsy.
That's how he named it, that.
Yeah. Gerrin. I'll ask one final question before we wrap it up. It's been about an hour for this podcast. Are you optimistic under Dodds?
Yes.
Brilliant.
100% yes.
Your happiness, your mood has improved. Now we have a caretaker, gaffer in charge. That's what it's about. Obviously, winning helps too, but that's ultimately what it's about. So, as long as you're happy watching the football, enjoying yourself, and having a good time, like Jim says, hopefully, like last year when nobody thought there was any chance. So, Bart to score. He's a comedian at the end as well. Cool. I'll catch you next week. If you're here tomorrow on the channel, we will be doing a watch along at 3 o'clock for the kickoff against Norwich City.
Do you not want to score predictions for Leicester?
No, because
With them Tuesday.
I mean, we can, but like I've got to see how this game goes for me. But yeah, let's do it then. Leicester to win 4-0. I think it depends how we play against Norwich. To be fair, if we go out there and absolutely crumble, I see us crumbling again against Leicester. 5 losses on the bounce, and then people will be calling for KLD's heads. So yeah, it depends how we play tomorrow for my prediction for Leicester, which is why. Go for yours though, mate.
Well, we won't keep a clean sheet against Leicester. Sorry, Bowers. So
Is that a 0-0?
0-0 written all over it.
What are you saying, mate?
I'll go for another 2-1 victory at home.
it'd be typical, wouldn't it, to win 3 on the bounce against his top team? Fucking typical, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll be all like God's in.
Yeah. I'm going for 2-2 against Leicester. I think 2-2. Optimistic.
Leicester don't concede that many goals, to be fair, mate. So.
You don't know in the Championship, though, do you?
Yeah, no games guaranteed.
Excitingly. Exactly. Don't say never say never.
Yeah, but never expect to win against a team that's sat in 20th either. And on that note, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.
Happy Halloween, Happy Easter.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
See you later.
Happy Hanukkah.